Coronation Street sees a major turning point as Debbie Webster finally decides to cut all ties with her son, Carl Webster, though questions remain over whether he is truly out of her life for good. Debbie appears to reach her breaking point with Carl, whose behavior has been so toxic and destructive that even the most unscrupulous characters might think twice before associating with him, and his long list of enemies only increases the likelihood that he could become a target in the looming murder mystery. As wedding celebrations approach for Carla Connor and Lisa Swain, there is an ominous sense that tragedy will strike, with death seemingly set to overshadow what should be a joyful occasion. One of Weatherfield's most notorious villains is destined to die, and the list of possible victims includes Maggie Driscoll, Jody Ramsey, Theo Silverton, Megan Walsh, and of course, Carl himself. Since arriving on the cobbles, Carl has caused chaos at nearly every turn, leaving a trail of damage so extensive that it's almost surprising he hasn't already faced deadly consequences. Among his many misdeeds, Carl had an affair with his brother Kevin's wife, Abby Webster, before discarding her and contributing to the breakdown of their marriage. He was also responsible for a hit-and-run incident that left Tyrone Dobbs seriously injured and reliant on a wheelchair. In addition, Carl played a role in the devastating Corrie crash that resulted in the death of Billy Mayhew, and he manipulated Debbie's dementia to shift blame onto her, allowing her to take the fall for his actions. Even after revealing the shocking truth about their relationship, Carl showed little genuine remorse, choosing to remain silent while Debbie suffered in prison as her condition worsened. Following her release, Carl attempted to present himself as a caring and devoted son, claiming he wanted to rebuild their relationship, but his true motive appeared to be financial gain. His real interest lay in accessing Debbie's wealth to resolve his own financial problems, effectively treating her as a source of money rather than as family, a reality that deeply angered her husband, Ronnie Bailey. Ronnie is far from alone in recognizing Carl's manipulative behavior, as Kevin Webster and Ryan Connor have also become increasingly aware of his schemes and the harm he is causing. Determined to protect Debbie, Ronnie and Kevin even begin working together in an effort to remove Carl from the situation entirely, believing that his absence would bring some stability back to their lives. Meanwhile, Summer Spellman becomes another person drawn into Carl's web of manipulation, especially after confronting Debbie about suspicions surrounding the Corrie crash. Carl possesses crucial information that Theo may have left Billy to die, and he uses this knowledge as leverage, attempting to exploit Summer's grief and desire for justice. He even offers to provide proof of Theo's guilt, but only in exchange for £10,000 taken from Billy's life insurance money, effectively turning a tragedy into an opportunity for personal gain. When Debbie discovers Carl's attempt to extort money from Summer, she reacts with fury, ordering him to leave her home immediately, an outburst that triggers another episode related to her dementia and deeply concerns Ronnie. Having had enough, Ronnie confronts Carl at the Rovers and makes it clear that his presence is worsening Debbie's condition, issuing a firm ultimatum for him to leave Weatherfield permanently or face the consequences. With tensions escalating and enemies surrounding him, Carl's future looks increasingly uncertain, especially as Debbie prepares to cut him off completely, potentially leaving him more desperate and unpredictable than ever. As the storyline builds toward the dramatic wedding episode and the promised murder mystery, the question remains: if Carl does meet a tragic end, could Ronnie, or someone else with a strong motive, be responsible? A new spoiler clip from Coronation Street hints at a darker turn in the storyline, as Maggie Driscoll appears to be subtly steering Eva Price toward taking extreme action against Megan Walsh. After Maggie's own attempt to confront and intimidate Megan ended in failure, she seems to shift her focus, now looking to influence Eva in hopes of ensuring the manipulative groomer faces consequences one way or another. As viewers already know, Megan had been secretly grooming Will Driscoll for an extended period, while those closest to him remained completely unaware of her abusive behavior until the truth was finally exposed last month. The disturbing reality came to light when Sam Blakeman, who had been pressured and silenced by Megan, ended up in hospital after enduring prolonged emotional strain. When Leanne Battersby questioned Sam about his actions, particularly why he had been taking medication, he ultimately revealed the full truth about Megan, prompting Leanne to inform the Driscoll family. The revelation left the entire family shocked and devastated as they struggled to accept that Will had been targeted and manipulated by someone they had trusted. At one stage, Eva suggested that Megan's pregnancy could serve as crucial evidence to prove the abuse, while Maggie took matters into her own hands by tracking Megan down and issuing a direct threat. However, Megan once again demonstrated her manipulative nature by twisting the narrative, falsely claiming that she had suffered a miscarriage due to a confrontation with Maggie, when in reality she had chosen to terminate the pregnancy herself. In upcoming episodes, the Driscoll family are left crushed when they discover that the police have decided to drop the investigation into Megan due to insufficient evidence. Ben Driscoll reacts angrily to the news, blaming Ollie Driscoll for failing to protect his younger brother, which only adds to the growing tension within the family. Eva quickly steps in to defend Ollie, leading to a heated exchange of words between her and Ben as emotions boil over. In scenes from Monday's April 20 episode, Ben later returns to the Rovers, where the confrontation with Eva continues, intensifying the already strained atmosphere. Meanwhile, Maggie quietly listens in on their argument and becomes convinced that decisive action must be taken against Megan, prompting her to subtly encourage Eva to act. Although Eva does not immediately respond or fully grasp Maggie's intent, her silence suggests that she may be considering the implication more seriously than she lets on. It is also important to remember that Maggie has a dark past, having previously taken a life, as revealed in a flashback episode last year, something that adds a chilling edge to her influence over the situation. At the same time, Megan remains one of several characters at risk as the show builds toward its major murder mystery storyline, teased earlier through a flash-forward episode that confirmed a death is imminent. Alongside Megan, other potential victims include Jody Ramsey, Theo Silverton, Carl Webster, and Maggie herself. With tensions escalating and motives stacking up, the looming question remains: could Eva be pushed into killing Megan, or will another character ultimately take matters into their own hands and seek revenge? At the same time, Megan remains one of several characters at risk as the show builds toward its major murder mystery storyline, first teased in an earlier flash-forward episode. Alongside Megan, other potential victims include Jody Ramsey, Theo Silverton, and Carl Webster, all of whom are entangled in explosive storylines. With tensions escalating and emotions running high, the question remains, could Eva be driven to kill Megan, or will someone else ultimately take revenge in this unfolding drama?